Hey, Ben here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to trigger the relaxation response when you're under stress. Now, why is this important? Well, it's all well and good to be able to calm your system down when you're sitting on the meditation cushion or relaxing on a couch or doing a breath work class, but more often than not, we are actually living our lives. We're out there in the world. And I think what's one of the most important things and interesting things to me about neuroplasticity, which is the brain's ability to adapt and change, is that it's not about simply practicing something in isolation. It is about going out into the world and feeling like we have shock absorbers on, feeling like we have the ability to absorb and adapt and flow with the ever-changing environment. And sometimes that environment contains some inevitable stressors. So the goal of reorigin and recovery is not to insulate ourselves against all potential stresses, it's to learn how to be present with them without feeling burdened by them. This is something that you can practice when you're watching a video like this. You can practice it on your own, but the key is that with these two exercises I'm going to show you is that you can take them into the world with you. These are things you can do in real time if you're having a stressful conversation, if you're in a meeting, if you're on a call, a Zoom call or a phone call. You can actually do these in the same moment and it will produce the same relaxation response even in that quote-unquote stressful situation. The first one is going to be deep diaphragmatic breathing. And to make this one a little bit unique, we're going to add the element of throat friction. Now, when you first do this, this can feel a little bit weird and you can apply different levels of friction, but I'll demonstrate. You might be able to hear this, but basically I'll inhale and I'll exhale, creating a little bit of tension in the throat. If I open the mouth, you can hear it better that way. You can do it with the mouth closed as well, but basically you're creating a little bit of friction in the throat, which helps to slow the breath down. It also creates a vibration in the vagus nerve, which activates that parasympathetic or rest and digest state. So again, I'll inhale into the belly, into the diaphragm, exhale, inhale again, exhale, so again, by doing that, we're slowing that exhalation down and we're also creating that element of vibration. Now, I'd recommend probably if you're having a conversation, if you're on a Zoom call or something and you need to do this technique, maybe don't do it with the mouth open, maybe don't do it in an audible way. You can really reduce the amount of friction to just make it so you can feel it and just so it does the job of slowing the breath down. Now, the other one is to what I call lose our mind and come to our senses. We always want to try and get back into our body whenever possible because, well, the brain and the mind, that part of our mind that's always thinking about the problem and how to solve it, can be a wonderful tool. It isn't the best tool for every single job. And oftentimes, these problems that we think we're having or we get caught in rumination are not really problems that can be solved in the moment. So instead we have to dissolve them. And the best way that I know to do that is to get into our bodies. So again, this is something you can practice now. Always good to practice these a little bit first, and then you can bring it with you into any of life's challenging situations. So first you want to feel your feet on the ground. If you're sitting at a desk, you can also use your fingertips and press into the desk or just feel into the desk. But just feel that space where your body is making contact with the external environment. This is a practice known as exteroception, right? We're using our body and the sensory mechanisms in our fingertips, in our feet, in our extremities to literally plug ourselves back into the surrounding environment. It's so amazing how we often forget that we have a body and we forget that we're in a surrounding environment when we're in a stressful situation. And the reason is because we simply get caught in our head. Again, it's trying to ruminate, trying to solve that problem that ultimately just needs to be dissolved. This isn't to say that there aren't problems to be solved. It is to say that we want to return ourselves to that grounded, clear and centered state. And when we do that, we'll be much better equipped to solve a problem if it even needs to be solved at all. So again, for this one, if you're seated, you can feel your feet on the ground, you can feel your bottom on the seat, or you can put your hands onto your thighs or the desk or a table or really any surface, and you can feel that area of contact and just really pay attention to that. Now, to practice these in real time, take these out of the mat, off the mat, so to speak, and into the game of life where they're going to be the most useful. You can practice something called two-pointed awareness. So the moment you become aware, let's say you're in that meeting, you're in that stressful situation, you're in that commute to work, and you find that you've gone into your head, the moment you become aware of that, that's fantastic. That's a win. The very next step is to get back into your body. You can even combine these. You can start off with taking a deep breath, long, slow exhale, prompting you and guiding you, inviting you back into your body. And then you can just feel the contact you're making. Even if you're driving, you can feel your hands on the wheel. Remind yourself that you are the ones now with your hands on the wheel. And that's ultimately what's happening when you practice these exercises. So I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know how this worked for you. And if you have any questions or comments or feedback, please share them in the comment section below.